Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. We have another tier list. I really wanted to make one about tanks, about MBTs in top tier. So let's get going. Thank you the guys on this Thunderlog community. Join their Discord, they're pretty amazing doing this. It is still work in progress nonetheless, but still it is amazing. And yeah, let's do another tier list talking about MBTs. But top tier MBTs on 11.3 and 11.7 of RB, okay? Let's go. So we're going to start with Germany over here. I have selected everything as you see. The links for this site will be in the description. So let's just add the three Leopards over here. And yeah, guys, I mean, I must say, obviously, Leopard 2A6, one of the best tanks in the game. I mean, not much I can even say about it. It's fast, it has an amazing armor, amazing ammunition, amazing cannon, everything like that. 2A5 is still amazing as well. We are going to probably put some tanks between these two, but it's still an amazing tank. And the Leopard 2PL, I think it's a very good option for people that are trying to branch out a little bit and having more top tier MBTs for that country. You know, while we don't have any more additions, a squadron vehicle or any like event vehicle or anything like that is added will always help. The armor is better than the original 2A4. Is it the most amazing thing ever? Maybe not, but it's still up there being one of the best tanks in the game as well. Not very used this tank, which is quite odd because it is a very good tank. Let's go for the US. The US has these four. Let me just add them. Hold up. The SEP, obviously, I think it's up there, man. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it depends on personal preference in general, because the Leopard, I would say that it has a little bit more of armor, but the A2 might be, depending on the situation, more like agile a little bit. But I would say that the majority of players would probably agree that with the SEP that we have right now, without the I'm pretty sure the Iranian armor is not added to the SEP yet. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not as strong as it should, maybe. The ammunition is still amazing. I would probably still take the A2A5 in my opinion than the SEP. The A2, I mean, it's just as good as the SEP almost, so it's probably just right there. The M1A1 AIM, it's a pretty good tank. I still think that it's worse than Leopard 2PL, but it is a very fun tank. I have it, and it's pretty fun to actually drive it. In general, it's a tank that has a lot of potential for a player that it's trying to have more tanks at 11.3, or even at top tier, having a third tank maybe here. It might be a very good option. So yeah. So the HE, I mean, it depends on personal preference, because the HE will actually give you the possibility to actually grind the other ones. But in general, the aims should be a little bit better. Even though it has less penetration, it has better thermals, which is a very, very good thing. On the armor, they should be very close to each other. It shouldn't like be a very big difference anyway. So I would put it right there. Of course, this is only my opinion. Then we have the Russians with, oh yeah, I always click the wrong button, with the Russians with the T-80s and the T-72B3. I mean, the T-72B3 is my favorite tank of the Russian Soviet tech tree, right? But I would still like say it's worse than these ones, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like it's an amazing tank with an amazing armor. I would put it maybe like right here, maybe. But that's more due to personal preference, right? I mean, I don't know, because we have the BVM, and the BVM should be like right up here, right? It depends on, as I said, I mean, it should have more. I mean, that's the thing. It depends on which team you're facing, basically. Because if the guy knows how to shoot at you, you basically are dead in one shot in each of these ones. So I still prefer the BVM over the Leopard, but I would say that the majority of the players would probably prefer the Leopard a little bit. The main problem with the German tech tree is the lack of numbers, you know, not the lack of quality in the tanks. And the B3, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a better option than maybe even the 2A5. That's just personal preference. It depends on you know, how the guy plays and everything like that. And the U and UK, they're almost the same tank, right? I mean, the addition of the Stora helps a little bit, but not by much as well. I would still like prefer probably the T80s before the M1A1s, but probably, I mean, I would put it right here actually. I still prefer the T80s over the 2PL and the M1A1s, but they're all very good tanks. Let's go Type 10. I mean, Type 10 is another interesting tank. I mean, the problem with it is that it has no armor, but it has an amazing cannon and mobility. Not that it doesn't have armor, but you know what I mean, right? It's less than the majority of the tanks. I mean, in the right hands, it can be like right here. In the wrong hands, it can be like right here. So it depends on the player. So I would say that it probably is better than this one's just for the reload and basically the way that the tank moves around in the right hands, but it must be a good player due to the lack of the superior armor, I would say. But it's still an amazing tank with amazing ammunition. Then we have all of these. Yeah, we have a lot of them. So let's talk about the 2 challengers. Man, to be honest, I really enjoy the challengers. I still think that the B3 is better, and the M1A2s are a little bit better as well. So I would put them like right here, basically. I would just eliminate one of them, just because, you know, they're almost the same. Of course, the addition of the APS system helps a lot, or not a lot, but at least a little bit, right? But the thing is that it's another tank that depends a lot on the player, right? It's a tank that not a lot of people like it. I personally love to drive it. Challengers in general, I think they're fairly fun to actually drive around. The problem is that they have kind of a tendency to die very quickly if you expose the hull of it, because it's quite enormous, like lower plate, and it becomes a problem. And even in the manlet, it's not that hard to actually penetrate it. But if you actually hide yourself, it can be a fairly good tank, I would say. Then we have the other ones. These ones I would basically say the same. I mean, I still prefer the T80s over here, but I would still like put it, I don't know, man. I would put it right here. I still prefer the M1s than these ones. This one would be the best one, right? And this one here. Oh, it's bugging. Is it working? Yeah, it's working, right? So something along those lines. I still prefer these tanks over the Challenger 2s, but they're very, very good tanks as well. Let's go for the Italians. The Italians, I must say, I never played with the Arietis, so yeah, I have a problem with it. But facing them, I would say they are pretty not that good, you know? I would say that the armor kind of lacks. The mobility is pretty good, but not the greatest thing ever. I mean, I would, like, it's all right. The ammunition is amazing, but, I mean, I died for them, you know? But since I didn't drove them, I don't have a fairly good opinion on it. I still take the Challenger of these ones, I would say, even the 11.7. The thing is that, I mean, the 11.7, if you will, I mean, it has a higher BR because it has better armament and stuff, but still it lacks a little bit, in my opinion at least. The Leclercs, I really enjoyed Leclercs. I mean, they're basically the same over here, so I will just add one of them, just because we have a limit of 10 items per thing over here. But I must say, man, I really enjoyed this tank. I would put it right up there. It's mobile, it has a fairly good armor. It's not the most amazing thing ever, but it has an amazing ammunition. I think it's a very, very good tank, and people tend to complain about the number of tanks, but now that they added 3 of them, it's pretty alright, and I actually enjoy these tanks. It's pretty good. Israelis, of course, they do have the Merkavas. I think the Merkava 4M, it has the same problem as other tanks over here. I would still put it probably right there, you know, but let me add it right here. Just because it has an amazing ammunition and it has APS, the trophy, but the other ones, I must put it like right down here. It's a tank that I didn't like drove too much, but the lack of the, I mean, it does have armor, but it's not the most amazing thing ever, and it lacks a little bit on the mobility of it. I would still take the Challenger over this, and maybe the Ariete from what I know about it, but definitely all of these things I would take it over this one. And the Merkava Mark 4M, I would say, I would still, a personal preference is that I would still love to drive the T80s and even the Leopard 2PL, sorry. But the Merkava 4M has the trophy, which helps a little bit depending on the round that it's being shot. So yeah, very cool. The Swedish, obviously, they have all of these amazing tanks. I still think that this one is... Oh, I cannot do this. I have to actually remove one of these things. No, I have to actually do this. So edit. Just consider all these challengers to be on the same page over here, okay? They are basically on the same page. Just remember that. So I would edit, and the Abrams as well, just for me to actually, and this one as well. Just for me to actually add the PL over the BPLS S, right here. I think it's probably the best tank in the game overall. Great armor, better than the Leopard 2A6, an amazing mobility, amazing ammunition. Everything is just amazing on that tank. And even, these two, they must be like right here as well, right? So the Leopard 2A6, I would just remove it because it's already here. But yeah, I still think that these things are the best in the game, in my opinion, right? And then, of course, we have the Chinese, which both of these Type 99s, they're basically the same, so I will add just this one. But they're both, they're the same. I thought I literally saw another thing. But yeah, basically these tanks are amazing tanks. They just have their problem with armor a little bit on the hull, but everything else is pretty good. It can take a punch on the turret. The mobility is more of a T-72 than anything else. So I would probably add it, I don't know, probably right here, right before the Black Knight, probably. So I will add the Black Knight over here and then over here. Now let's spread around a little bit these things so that I can actually have a proper look on the things. Maybe that, I still probably would take the Challenger 2, but I didn't draw that one. So yeah, definitely these ones, yes. The PLs, they're good enough. I would just divide a little bit more, okay? Just to make sure. This one, and then this one, probably better than that. The SEP is probably right there. Yeah, for sure, this is a mid tank, for sure. These ones need to be closer together. This one is probably better than these ones for most players. The SEP, but the T-72 also right here. And then the Type 10, I think everything else is pretty alright. Maybe I will add the Type 10 over here and the Leopard 2A5. But yeah, this is where I'm comfortable with. So, yeah. This is my tier list of the top tier MBTs. I still think that the STR V122B is the best tank in the game. Overall, for the majority of the players. The T80 BVM and the normal 2A6s, they're right there. We would be like, if the 122 is a 10.0 on the scale of goodness, the T80 BVM would be like a 9.0, 9.9. The Leclerc would be a 9.0, 9.7. The 2A5 would be like a 9.7. Type 10 would be like, for example, that as well. The T-72B3, I also think it's one of the greatest tanks in the game. It's more due to personal preference because I know the mobility of all of these tanks are better than this one, and these ones, and even these ones are better than this. All of these tanks have a better mobility, excluding the Challenger and the Merkava maybe to the T-72. But I think even the Merkava, especially if the backing, the reverse gear. But still, it's just such a good armor that this thing has, and I get so many kills with it that I really love it, and I would still put it right up there with other tanks. Maybe like right here, maybe not as further away as I thought. Maybe in the Merkava over here as well, being a more of a mid tank, because it doesn't have anything going for it besides the trophy and ammunition, right? But still, this is it, my tier list for the top tier thanks MBTs for the game. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. Links are in the description for this one. And I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys. See you.